Long ago, I learned the importance of reflecting on your journey, looking back at wherever you've been to better understand how to get where you're going. The best and worst experiences all have an important lesson about ourselves and each other. We have an obligation to get the message, so to speak, to learn the lessons. This past year, I visited new places, made new friends, and ate so much incredible food that is dizzying, all in a city that continues to show me parts of itself that I didn't know were there. I met people who found better lives here, others who are living out their dreams in this place. As I look back and reflect on all of the year's experiences, in an attempt to sum up what I learned, I find that I don't get very far, because all I can think about is the food. As a chef, I need to stay curious in order to evolve. For me, that means looking beyond a good meal to learn more about who made it and what inspires them to cook.
La comida es amor.
Every great city has great food. I'm going on a journey around the world, right here in St. Louis. I'm on a quest to find passionate chefs who cooks from the heart.
It's exciting.
And I think it's the best.
To prove that food is love. And it's gonna be delicious. Food is love. Love your food. At this point, I'm just gonna say it out loud. St. Louis is indisputably a food destination. The scene here is a mix of the old and the new that all seems to exist together at a rate of density that gives an endless choice of different places to eat, but it's ultimately the people here that makes it the exciting foodscape that it has become. I'm stopping in to spend time with the owner of Cafe Napoli, an immigrant that came to St. Louis as a teen with no family connection and nothing to his name. Italian restaurateur Tony Pietoso has been serving food in Clayton for more than 30 years now.
Yeah.
Even I would admit that I don't know a lot about Malaysia.
You know, I grew up in Malaysia, which is a multicultural country. Every part of the life are influenced by a different culture.
Yeah.
From Muslim, from Indian, from Chinese. We are a big melting pot. Take in all the spices, food, style, technique, culture, everything.
At what point were you in Malaysia and decided you want to come to America?
Early 20s. I think it's because of the 90210.
90210?
That one.
Well, you know, this is the wrong zip code.
It is a wrong zip code. It is.
Family and service are the hallmarks of the Citizen Kane experience. But the other big reason that people come here is for the meat. To find out what makes steaks good enough for Citizen Kanes, I'm up with the sun, riding along with cattleman Brock Meyer of Meyer Cattle Company. I'm with him this morning as he checks some of his herd. Brock races black Angus cattle.
Obviously, it's very important what they eat, right?
Yes, it's very important. We work with a nutritionalist, that builds our rations for us. So much like a human's diet, it's balanced and it's...
Is it good? It's a little dry, in my opinion.
Di Gregorio is an old-school Italian grocer that has all the specialties. Muffalata, olives, meats, dressings, just to name a few.
A lot of cheese. Well, look at here.
There you go, Danish Fontina.
Danny's Fontina, right?
It's very good cheese.
I appreciate
There's
you saying
Danish
that.
everywhere we go today.
How can anyone not be a fan of this? Everyone loves brunch. It's very delicious. Thank you very much. And if you don't love little mystery dumplings filled with chicken, pork, fish, shrimp, then I'm not sure where that leaves you and I. But I digress.
Okay.
And keep it playful. I think that's what it's all about.
All right.
Almost immediately, I'm seeing this is going in a direction I didn't anticipate. How did I get into this position? Literally. Better yet, how am I gonna get out? This isn't what I had imagined. Obviously, knowing nothing about jiu-jitsu, I assumed I was gonna be learning a couple of arm grabs, maybe some kind of little foot move to trip an opponent. Something more flashy, maybe a little less choky.
When we roll, you're basically wanting to make sure this end, when it rolls, hits this part.
Okay.
Okay. So from the side, you can see where I'm at. And then you want to take your hands, your fingers up here, so your thumbs are on this side, and then your fingers are here. As you're rolling this up, you want to push this in.
Okay.
And kind of hit that spot. Yes. And then kind of squeeze in. And then you're going to take this and then one more roll. And then kind of roll it. Yep. And then squeeze. And then you want to make sure this part's on the bottom.
All right.
Yes. Wow. Look at you.
Izumi, a tiny Japanese fire truck turned sando pop-up cart, chicken yakitori, and colorful milk bread sandos are a feast for the eyes.
I'm trying to mimic kombini food, which is convenience store food. It's a lot more entrenched in Japanese society because they're always on the go, so they're always looking for something good. So it's not the same sort of gas station food stigma that is here. You actually get a really good meal at a kombini. I do about 70-80% pre-orders, and they sell out very quickly these days. And then I have a little bit for walk-ups.
I've heard a lot about this food, but this is my first chance to try it. And I think we need more stuff like this. Pure genius and evidence of the vibrancy of the food scene. I've been going to restaurants all my life and always has a basement where you're gonna have chance encounters with whoever. This is part of the romance of having a restaurant. When you find the tomatoes treated as well as the wine, it's usually a sign the meal's gonna be a good one. So for an Italian, tomatoes are just as valuable as the wine. Exactly. So it has to be treated like the good wine.
Absolutely. What is it about St. Louis that brought you back here?
I think first of all, St. Louis is my home, you know, and I wanted to help kind of continue the already great trajectory of St. Louis restaurants. You know, I think that when I was younger, it's like you thought you had to open a restaurant in New York or in Chicago or a big city like that, and now I think more and more cooks are realizing that that's not the case really. You can open, you know, there's great restaurants in smaller cities all over the US, and I think that that's really cool to see, is just like this great food trends and great communities of chefs kind of banding together and creating their own culture within their hometowns. And I think that's really awesome. And I think St. Louis is an amazing chef culture and camaraderie and all of that. And so I'm humbled to be a part of it, really.
Mac and cheese sauce.
Oh, wow. All right, here. I'll give you half,
Yep.
and you give me half.
Awesome.
So what do you drink with a hot dog?
Cold soda.
Cold soda?
Yep.
And that's what you have to?
Yes.
Okay.
What's up that drink?
Cold soda, I guess. How about a diet?
Guess I need a cold soda.
I'm trying to do everything the right way.
Right.
You know, that's part of the experience. All right.
They can make it Jamaican.
It doesn't matter how old you are. There's just something about a hot dog.
Kind of like just let it mix in, and then I'll just finish a little bit by hand. Does he want to do the piping honors, or should I?
No way! Let me do it.
You can try your hand down there.
Yeah.
So we start kind of like about a ½ inch above, and just squeeze, just like that. And then the hard part is the cookies cook a little crazy, so we try to match them up as best we can.
The pastry chef in me can't help to take a bag and ice a few of them by myself. Like riding a bicycle. I grew up in a pastry shop. I've done this a few times too.
Like, this is not his first time.
No.
Getting in the spirit now.
You're hired.
Next, I'm going to Kevin's home to make pizzas in his backyard and meet his wife, Nina. I couldn't be more excited. As you might expect from an award-winning chef, there's an oven in his backyard, and it's beautiful. Kevin has his mise en place ready, and the oven is heating up. By the looks of the spread, these pizzas are gonna be good. You probably don't have any problem getting people over when you cook here in the backyard?
I don't know. It's fun. It was something that I was like, you know, of anything I can do in my backyard, I wanted to do this because my kids are engaged. They can do it with me, and it's fun. It's something they always love to eat. And then it's so versatile. I can cook like, you know, porchetta. I can do like, you know, ribs. I can do so many things. Beautiful bread. Kind of clean the floor of it.
And you know how masculine that looks too when you shoot in there with that thing?
Yeah.
I traveled a little this year and realized just about anywhere you go, you can find a connection to St. Louis. From Key West, Florida to Tulsa, Oklahoma, the food scene in St. Louis has branches that extends past the city limits in every direction. I scoured the St. Louis scene for long enough now that being in another city feels like being in an alien landscape. Tulsa is or feels like a little big city. It's easy to get around here. The nightlife is happening, there's an art scene, and the kind of eclectic places that makes a city hip. There's no shortage of places to eat or grab a drink. All of them new to me. I don't start to darken any of their doors. I'm looking for something more familiar. Comfort food, if you will. Something to make me feel like I'm back in St. Louis. It almost feels like we're in the way, right?
Yeah, no, you are. We are.
Yeah.
We're in the way.
Yeah.
It's good.
The dual kitchen setup could be a recipe for disaster, but here it's running like a well-oiled machine. This is what we all love, the craziness of a kitchen. We are right in the middle of this restaurant, Kevin Nash's restaurant, and this is what I live for. I mean, there's a lot of things going on in here. To hear Kevin talk about La Tertulia is to hear tales about the old city of gold, but it's not a myth. Kevin has brought new life to something his grandparents created, and the food here is exceptional. At the end of a long day, I'm glad I came to Tulsa to experience this myself. I'm crossing the 7 Mile Bridge in search of the place that I've heard about in every Jimmy Buffett song. Each key bringing me closer to the feeling I've been chasing since first realizing that I was a parrot head. I came here to get away, sure, but what is it that I'm hoping to find? Is it freedom, an alternate way of living, the proverbial cheeseburger in paradise, maybe? Or is it some remaining sliver of Hemingway's Key West that's drawn me here? I'm not really sure, but it's a safe bet. Whatever I'm looking for has something to do with food. Now, where exactly are we right now?
This is Boca Grande Island. The Keys don't stop in Key West. They keep going continually west. It goes Keys, Marquesas, which are behind us, and then the Tortugas. So we're about maybe 8 to 10 miles west of Key West.
This is George Hansford. As the captain of Courage, George flexes a disposition with his boat that leaves little doubt that he was born on one. To see him, you might think you're looking at a modern-day version of Ernest Hemingway, and maybe you are. The same kind of wandering spirit that led the fabled author to the Keys has found George ping-ponging between his Rock Hill restaurant, the Trainwreck Saloon, and the southernmost island of the U.S. That's right, George is a native St. Louisan. In fact, his restaurant is the oldest operating bar in St. Louis County.
I worked out in Soulard back in the early 80s, and there was a place called Mike and Min's that was there. It was just a real neighborhood tavern that I loved it, and I thought, you know, if I could find a building with an atmosphere and an antique bar like Mike and Min's in the county, that's what I wanted. And I found the one that was actually really close to where my wife and I grew up in Brentwood, right there in Rock Hill, that had been there since 1890, and it had a lot of history in the old bar, and it was love at first sight.
To a lot of the world, traditional Japanese culture carries a mystical sense. The kimonos, the rituals, the meaning assigned to everyday things. This is Chado, or the way of the tea, the art of the Japanese tea ceremony. As a guest, I show respect for the host by paying attention to the preparations in my surroundings. Every part of the ceremony is conducted with close attention to detail. There is little talking, mostly focus and appreciating the small things. The details like the flower arrangement, the heating of the water, the making of the tea. There is meaning and beauty in all of it. Even this building, an authentic Japanese tea house, was specially constructed for this one particular purpose. Today I'm in Seiwa-en Garden, the garden of pure, clear harmony and peace. But despite how it might seem, I haven't traveled to Japan to take part in a traditional tea ceremony. In fact, I haven't even left St. Louis. The diversity in St. Louis still surprises me. Nearly everywhere you go, you can find food spots that focus on different kinds of cuisine. But to me, when I see beautiful sushi or catch the smell of soul food cooking, I think about the people and the family behind it. Beets.
Mm-hmm.
Beets are my favorite.
They are?
Yeah.
Awesome.
What color are you? What's your favorite color beet?
Well, any beet. Yeah.
So yeah, this is just a little fresh, and it's all vegetarian, all vegan. You know, just the breadcrumbs, olive oil, salt, pepper on everything, and then the herb sauce.
You just roasted all the vegetables in the oven?
Mm-hmm.
The hallmark of a good food scene is inclusion. Not just inclusion of food from other places, but inclusion of foods for people with different needs, goals, diets.
It's not about really having a fully vegetarian, vegan, plant-based, whatever word you want to use, restaurant. It's more about normal restaurants offering all of these beautiful dishes for everybody so that we can all sit around the table together.
Can I make one?
Yes,
Oh, absolutely.
please.
Go ahead.
You can make any shape you like.
I feel bad. I'm normally doing all the cooking.
Snap here in the middle, and then the first one is to go to the side, pinch a little bit. Okay. So now you have room to go a little bit further. Each crease, you can make creases.
I see.
It's like making pies, right? Pot pie?
Yeah. This is a real story that my grandma told me. Making dumpling is a very good way to tell your future daughter-in-law what kind of person she is, to get to know her, because the dumpling that the person made have a very few creases. That means she's not detail-oriented.
I see.
But you have too many creases. That means this one is a little bit too meticulous and sometimes maybe hard to deal with.
See, I have a little bit of creases, not too many, so I'm easy to
You
deal
are great,
with.
yes. You are the perfect son-in-law.
You're not having any cake? Am I the only one?
Oh wow, I didn't even realize that you
I dug a hole over here. That's good.
Oh man.
I'm really liking jiu-jitsu now. If this is how we refuel cake and smoothie.
Yeah, that's how we do it. Smoothies and cake after jiu-jitsu. That's hilarious.
An innocent question about chef pants, and here I am. A crowd is literally forming outside the curtains. A dress-up experiment for the whole shop.
No, those pants will look great when you're not on camera, right? When you're relaxed.
I have a tiki bar at home. It's more like the tiki bar, right?
That's a tiki bar pant.
That's a tiki bar pants. I like it.
Yeah.
Jimmy Buffett would approve.
I think so.
Yes.
That's all that matters.
This is something that I will never forget. And the irony of it all still gets me. LV and her family has never felt comfortable coming into my restaurant. Just the same way that there are little to no white clientele going into Gourmet Soul. The food is unbelievable. Misconceptions close doors. As restaurant owners, we face similar but opposite problems. And still, in spite of problems and misconceptions, the truth remains that food is for everyone. It can nourish us, comfort us, and like it has here today, it can bring us together. Sharing moments in the kitchen with so many incredible chefs is something that I do not take for granted. Each time I'm learning something new and getting a glimpse into the mind and lives of other people. People that are just as sick in the head as me.
So in Italy, that's what we do, you know. Every 15, 20 minutes, they stop at a bar and they have espresso. No, you wonder why Italian people are so nervous. Stuck with their hands.
Yeah.
Espresso helps you out.
I want to be an Italian.
Grill mac and cheese.
People think these simple things are simple. You know, they are, but they're not.
Right.
The pasta has to be cooked the right way. There's a lot of things that goes into it to make it perfect.
You're exactly right. That one there, that's my favorite.
can't talk when you're eating a hot dog.
No, you can't.
Drumstick or thigh?
Either or. I'm fine.
Thigh. In Malaysia, in Southeast Asia, if you're a good boy, you have drumstick.
Yeah.
It's a reward.
Huh.
Yeah.
Well, I'll take a drumstick then.
So you're a good boy. To thigh.
Yep.
What, I'm not getting a drumstick after you said that?
This is a secret of youth.
Okay.
Gelatin, natural gelatin.
I need a lot of that. I'm going to be 55.
Well, then have the whole thing then.
Seeing others doing their thing out here is inspirational. It also gives me more perspective on myself. What inspires me to cook every day is to see stuff like this is unbelievable.
It's a happiness. Food brings happiness.
Yeah.
Food brings happiness. Look at this food. I mean, wow.
Lots of love.
When I first started visiting chefs where they cook, learning about their culture through the food they love to make, I hoped that I would see new things, find new techniques, ideas, and of course, new insight into how other people see the world. This show has been all of those things to me, and in every way, it's been more. George's knowledge on topics like cigars and Cuba lends to the romance of being here.
Yeah, I think I'm really fortunate to live in both cities, which is nice. I mean, even though I'm there 8 months here, only like 3 or 4 months, that it's a really nice lifestyle.
I'm looking at what you have done, and it gives me courage.
You know, you can understand that, you know what, the risks we take in the restaurant business are only the risks that we take in life. And so another risk down there was not a big deal for me because I've been doing this my whole life.
You know,
courage.
Courage. Food is love.
Food is love.
I think I get it now. On the surface, the tea ceremony seems like it's about the tea, but in reality, it's about developing deeper appreciation for everything, noticing the details. In older times, even the samurai was required to leave his swords outside of the tea house, because inside the tea room, no matter your stature in life, everyone is considered equal. Food is love, so tea is also love because we are preaching the same things: respect, tranquility, harmony.
Yes.
Food has brought me to places I never would have gone, introduced me to new ideas. To broaden your horizons, start with an open mind and an empty stomach.
It was just a perfect day.
So at the end, what did I learn from it anyway? Well, I learned that it's pronounced linguine, not linguini. Linguini alla vongole. Linguine. I made Chinese dumplings for the first time, found out that mac and cheese does belong on a hot dog, discovered there is in fact no decent cheeseburgers in paradise. I learned to roll sushi from a couple of pros. I made pizza in Kevin Nashon's backyard, separated 2 ribs, ate a cake without cutting it, played cowboy for a day, learned to cook vegan, dug carrots on a farm, had my first snoot sandwich, and did my best to right an old wrong in my old neighborhood. That's a pretty good year in review, if I'm allowed to say so. At the end, what I learned is simple, really. The best way to put yourself in somebody else's shoes is to go where they live and eat what they eat.
That's exactly what it's all about, is trying something different. And once you try something different, you're all of a sudden open to a lot of other new things, you know, and that's how food is. Food is a little gateway to another culture where, you know, you take the chance, you open the door, they let you in, and you get to see something completely different.
As far as food in this city, the possibilities are limitless. There is a mountain of options, and we only visited a few. But you should really just explore for yourself.
You need that in the world. You need to have more love, and a great way to start with that is to start with something that you need every day, and that's food.
Food is love.
Food is love.
E la pasta deve essere al dente. Pasta che abbia al dente, otherwise I can eat it.
Well, you can't ask for any more. Good glass of wine, al dente pasta.
Good company.
Food is love.
Food is love.
How do you say that in Italian?
Cibo e amore.
Cibo e amore. E amore.
E amore.
Food is love and family is love.
Salud.
Cheers. Food is love.
Food is love.
Food is
Cheers.
love. Cheers. Food is love.
Food is love.
Food is a peacemaker. Food is love. Go cook for somebody.